Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Another mic check. Mic check. Another mic check. Mic check. Another mic check. Mic check. Mic check, 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 mic check. One, two, three. Microphone check. Microphone check. Hello. Microphone check. Microphone check. I hope we are live now and everything is working as intended. Another microphone check just in case. 1, 2, 3. All right. Everything seems to be working as intended, which means we can actually start with today's stream. Today's stream is quite unusual for the people who have been watching my channel for the past months, because I'm usually playing God of War Ragnarok and just doing Valhalla runs over and over and over. But this is actually the game where I could confidently say that I am really good at, which is Kerbal Space Program, which is a game about a little green man venturing into space. We're not going to be doing anything tricky today. I just want to do a quick Duna mission. I want to do it properly. I want to like send satellites, establish a station, space station. Let me just reduce the master volume a little bit, because it is quite loud. Yeah, this is more tolerable, I think. As you can see, it is a sunny day today in Kerbal. And I'm saying Kerbal, not Earth, because this is actually the name of the planet that we're at. All the planets here are quote-unquote fictional and are only based on the real planets. Like here, Kerbal, for example, it is obviously based on Earth, but the continents are completely different. There's like the positioning and all that. It has not one but 2 moons. One of them is called Mun. The other one is called Minmus over here. Takes a little bit to load because of all the custom textures and such, but And the other planets over here, this is Duna, which is the Mars equivalent. This is Eve and Moho, which are the in-universe versions of Venus and Mercury, respectively. There's Dres, there's Jewel, there's Elu. Dres is sort of a it's like a dwarf planet based on Ceres. Jewel is the Jupiter equivalent over here, and Elu is supposed to represent the far planets of the solar system, in particular Pluto. There are no ringed planets. Those can be added with mods, but for now I want to stick to the stock solar system. Speaking of stock solar system, I've already made one test launch of a rocket. Here it is, orbiting. But right now I want to establish a presence on Duna, which is this red planet over here. I want to establish presence on Mars. Or Duna, but it's like the in-game equivalent of Mars. Which is why, first of all, I want to build a rocket that will send the satellites to that planet. Which is why first we go into the vehicle assembly building and assemble our first satellite. For the satellite, we need to pick a probe. There are multiple probes on selection over here, each of them with their own pros and cons, rather. I want to pick something a bit more advanced. I want something that can scan both biomes and terrains. This can only scan terrains. This can scan both. There's also this, but I think this one is a bit too chunky to be used in a probe. This one is a huge one. This is more for the rockets and such. I think I'm gonna pick this one for the probe. I will need to... I think I need to spin it like this, yeah, so that it's... So now it faces towards there. I will name it Duna Recon Probe. Yes. I think I can shut this down for now. So the probe by itself, it won't do much. It obviously won't reach Duna, but we need... This is like the main control unit. So through that we will be able to control the drone to make it do things for us. First of all, it needs some propulsion, some method of propulsion. I think a little fuel tank like this should be enough to satisfy our needs, like that. We will need an antenna so that it can connect to Earth, but it can't just be any antenna. It needs to be a relay antenna specifically, so that it can redirect the signal that is being sent to us. I am not I don't entirely remember which range it needs to be in order to be able to reach to Duna. I think the 22 gigameters should be enough. Like this. I need to put it in a snap mode. There. Let me actually check real quick. Relay antennas. KSP. It takes quite a while. Okay, here we go. So this is an RA2 antenna. It isn't quite enough to reach Duna. It's only enough to reach Duna when it's close to us, which is not optimal really. Which is why we need something with at least 50 gigameters of range, and it needs to be a relay antenna, which means it must be this antenna. This antenna is substantially bigger and will make our probe heavier, which will affect its performance. Let's slap an engine on it and just see how it does. It's quite a lot of thrust to weight ratio over there, which is not really necessary. I will pick something smaller. The ant. The ant should be enough. I also need to set it in vacuum. So in vacuum we have 671 meters per second of delta V. If we use spark instead, in vacuum conditions, we only get 538 meters per second of delta V, which is less because it makes our probe heavier. It does offer us significantly more thrust, but we don't really need thrust that much. We need enough thrust to maneuver the probe, and 0.44 should be more than enough. So that's what we're gonna stick with. It has the antenna, it has the probe, it has the... I'm gonna check the engineer. Okay, we also need the means to generate electric charge, which is what we're gonna do right now. And we also have a first viewer, Curtis Space Program. Yes, indeed. We're gonna be sending Curtis to space. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a nice day. Speaking of electricity, it also reminds us this probe doesn't have a lot of electric charge capacity in it. So we're gonna add some additional batteries to it. I think I needed this one. There. So now we have the battery, and we also need the means to restore that electricity. We're gonna pick small solar panel like this one. I'm gonna put 4 of those on each side so that we have full solar coverage. And I think that should be enough for our probe, so I'm gonna save it. Next up, we're gonna need to build a rocket. For the rocket, we need a bigger probe. I think this is the one. Yes, in this direction. So this one will be controlling the rocket. This rocket will be unmanned, so we will need a probe in order to be able to control it. We are gonna put a where is it? Here it is. There. This will be a payload, and it will have a fairing, but we're gonna build the fairing later. But I think that because of the size of the rocket, this fairing size will not be enough. So I'm gonna place it. Actually, do I have a bigger guidance unit? I think I do have a bigger guidance unit. In fact, I'm gonna pick this one as the main core of our rocket. And then on top of that, we're gonna put a large fairing like this. Now we are gonna put a girder segment on this, on which we are gonna mount our probes, like that and like that, for example. I'm gonna rename this to Duna Probe Rocket. Like this. Actually, this won't be enough. I will need to actually make a rocket that will deliver our probes to Duna. So I'm gonna pick this guidance unit. I'm gonna put it on a structural element. Not this one. Not this one either. Yes. Maybe even that one. That one should be... Yeah, that's good enough. So now we're gonna mount this to the to a fuel tank of sufficient size. I think the medium ones were here. Yeah, correct. And now on this we are gonna put the girder segment that I mentioned, like this. So this is gonna be Duna first stage, probe transfer stage, like this. We're gonna put like no, that's the wrong one. attach like this. We're gonna attach some decouplers. Not even those smaller ones. Like this. There. So we attached one probe. Now we need to attach two more probes. Like this. Now I'm gonna test whether that fits into the fairing. Seems like it fits. Very well. So it fits into the fairing, which is very good. I'm gonna put solar panels on this too. These can be the ones that cannot be repackaged after they're opened, because this transfer stage is not gonna need that. Let's close it up. We are gonna attach an engine. It needs to be engine optimized for vacuum thrust. Not this one, that one is a bit too big. This seems wrong somehow. Let me open the Kerbal Engineer instead. Let's place it like this. Okay, so this one shows us delta V. It shows us delta V of 2.5 meters per second, 2.5 kilometers per second. Okay, so this thing is pretty much ready. I think it's ready. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything important here. I think the probe has a reaction wheel, so it's not really an issue if it... It does have a reaction wheel, so it will be able to control itself. Or rather, rotate itself in space. It will be able to reorient itself. I think this one is... This is pretty much done, I think. I'm gonna save the transfer stage. I'm gonna open the rocket. This can leave. This can go. I'm gonna put another decoupler. This. There we go. Now I'm gonna merge this. Again, it will be facing this direction, so I need to spin it like this. I need to reroute it from here so that I can actually connect it. I think I can get away with a smaller decoupler here, which I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna put a smaller decoupler. Let's put this here. Let's close. Let's make a clamshell deployment. Let's make it 4 sides. Let's build the fairing. Okay. So this thing will need to get to the upper atmosphere of Kerbal, which means it doesn't really need that much fuel on board. I think 1 stack like this should be enough. It's this one. I'm gonna move it down here, put it up here, and then I'm gonna put an engine just to see what kind of thrust we are dealing with. This engine, and it needs to be sea level. It barely has enough thrust, and it doesn't really have enough delta V, so I think I'm gonna pick something different. Do I have anything bigger than this? So we have the Rhino, this one. This gets better sea level thrust, and it's also a bit lighter, so it might actually help. Okay. 1 main soul should be enough. the clamshell deployment should go here. Let's put a adapter over here so that it's a bit more presentable. Nope. Nope. All right. Do you want to change the color of this? I might as well leave it like this. Silver, gold. I think just white is enough. Let's increase the ejection force a little bit. Okay. This makes for a pretty nifty rocket. I'm pretty sure I'm not forgetting anything with this. So this will, we need to check our staging. This will fire up. And then this part will disconnect. Now first the fairing will open. Then this part disconnects. Then this fires up. Then goes to Duna. And then at Duna, these will do the respective maneuvers. Although wait, actually. Yeah, let me save this for now. Let me open the not this. Nope. Engineer. The transfer stage supposedly has 2.5 meters per second, which should be enough. Yeah, I think that should be enough for the to get to Duna and then to circularize there. So that should be fine. I think. I hope. Let's return back to the probe rocket. This thing is pretty much ready, except I want to make it be able to return back to Earth safe and sound. So I'm gonna do some modifications to it. Firstly, I'm going to put some air breakers on it. those. Air breakers. And then I'm gonna put on some parachutes on it as well. Parachute. I'm gonna add the parachute stage after this disconnects. Or maybe even together with the staging. So as soon as that stages, the parachutes will be armed. And that's pretty much it, really. We have everything we need. Save this. And we are going to first, we are gonna time skip to the nearest transfer window to Duna. I think the Duna transfer window is when Duna is a bit ahead of us. I think there's even an option to time skip. Create alarm. Planetary transfer window. Yeah, they did add that in one of the later patches of the game. Let's make it I don't need sound. Okay. Let's add this alarm and let's walk to it. As a general rule of thumb, the angle between Earth and Duna should be around like 25-30 degrees, something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but basically when you make a line between Earth, the Sun, and Mars, or rather the Kerbal, Sun, and Duna, the angle will be... Okay. We are at Duna transfer window. We can delete this alarm clock. And we are gonna... First let the game load. Okay. The game is loaded. We are gonna make a save. Duna transfer window. We're gonna go back to our vehicle assembly building. We are gonna attach some launch clamps. I think they were here. Yes. this. So, and with that, so staging, this fires up, this detaches, this opens. Okay. How much electricity does the probe have? It was this 80. 80 isn't really enough. I'm gonna put some retractable solar panels on this. Let me rotate these a little bit. Nice. Let's retract them back. Okay. The rocket is ready for launch as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Let's turn on the engines first. Gimbal control, looking good. And let's go ahead. Okay, we need to turn on the SAS. Then we will be tilting gradually. And I mean very gradually. Towards the horizon. This rocket doesn't have any vertical stabilizers, which makes the controlling a bit difficult. But I think we should be still doing fine, all things considered. We need to reach around 2.5, like 2.3 kilometers per second to achieve orbit. I think we can start tilting a bit more now. We have passed the thicker layers of the atmosphere already. I will be aiming for the apoapsis height of around 90,000 meters, I think. Should be good enough. I can reduce the throttle a little bit to make the rocket more controllable. And to adjust our ascent rate. So far, we're doing good. Let's cut the engines. Let's create a maneuver node. So at that point in our trajectory, we will be firing up our engines in order to actually achieve orbit and not to just fall back down to Earth, to Curtin. We can open our fairings already. The fairing has been opened. We can open our solar panels so that we can generate the much needed electricity. Okay, we have reached space, which can be indicated by the music appearing in the background. I might as well aim the rocket towards our maneuver vector. And for the next minute, we're just gonna cruise. Had a little water. So we will be reaching our maneuver node in around 30 seconds. Our burn time is 18 seconds. So we should be starting our burn at half of the burn time. So we'll be starting at t minus 9 seconds, and then we'll stop burning at t plus 9 seconds. With that, we will have our 18 seconds of burn time needed to reach our target trajectory. Periapsis height. That's good enough, I think, for all intents and purposes. I'm gonna rotate the rocket a little bit so that the solar panels are facing towards the sun. That's good enough, I think. So, next up, we will be detaching our transfer stage, which we will do in 3, 2, 1. We're going to switch our vessel to this one. So now we are controlling this. Control from here. We will activate this engine. Shit. I didn't make any saves. God damn it. I guess we're doing the entire launch again. Which brings us to an important lesson in KSP. Always make saves. Always make saves. Because you're seemingly calculating everything, and then a mishap like this happens, and then you have no saves, and then you're like, bruh. And you are forced to start the entire thing over again, or come up with solutions on the fly. In our case, thankfully, I haven't gone that much far from the Kerbal, and not that much time elapsed since the launch, so we can pretty much start again with no real issues. But for the future, we need to make more saves, and we need to check our staging properly. So far, so good. I'm definitely not following the perfect ascent vector. That would be the most efficient in terms of fuel usage. But we have more fuel than we need already, so you might as well just eyeball it like I do right now. This one was definitely less efficient. But it's still decent. It will do the job just fine. So the orbit is roughly circular. We are pretty much out of the atmosphere, which means we can deploy the fairings. I'm gonna deploy the panels right about now. Then we're gonna aim towards our maneuver vector. And after that we're basically starting the entire thing over, but this time we're not gonna actually mess up. Let me skip ahead a little bit. So 28 seconds at T minus 14 we're gonna start. There we go. Then we just burn until the apoapsis and periapsis heights both roughly match. They don't need to be an exact match, but good enough. Perfect. I'm gonna make a save. Luna rocket in Kerbal orbit. Like this. Now we are gonna detach. We're gonna switch vessel. Control from here. Then we're gonna activate this engine. Then we're just gonna boost away a little bit from this. Now we have a trajectory. I think we need to start on the night side in order to... Yes. So we're gonna... So the apoapsis now roughly matches the Duna orbit. to make this a little bigger. KSP is still alive. Whoop whoop. Honestly, it's never been more alive than now, in my personal opinion. With all the amazing mods that are coming out for the game lately, it's never been better. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Hope you're having a nice day. I think we need to add some orbits to it. Okay, this doesn't really work. Even though I'm seemingly in the Duna transfer window right now, it for some reason doesn't exactly match up with Duna. Okay. We have a match. Okay. I think I've seen something here. I think this is good enough. We can adjust our course mid-flight if we need to. Let's open the solar panels first. Let's redirect ourselves towards the maneuver node. And then we're gonna time skip ahead. I apologize. Oh damn, I gotta get started again. Yeah, you definitely should. And there are plenty of mods with amazing quality, and even more amazingly, these mods are really well optimized. Like my PC is definitely on the lower end of the performance spectrum, so to speak, and I have the dynamic volumetric clouds from BlackRag. I have the deferred shaders, I have scatterer, I have restock textures, I have the newest parallax, I have all that, and the game is running at a pretty comfortable FPS. It doesn't exactly feel like around 60 FPS, but it runs smooth enough. So even if you have a weaker PC, you should definitely give it a go. Besides, you can always play stock and still have the same gameplay experience. We're gonna time skip ahead to our maneuver. So 52 seconds, it is so 27 and a half-ish, I think. We can start our burn. Actually, let me make a save first. Tuna transfer about to leave Kerbal. Save. 29, 28, 27. So the burn is commencing. I can switch to free camera now. We're looking good. There's plenty of fuel on board, so there will be more than enough to circularize a Duna and for all the mid-transfer corrections that we'll need to do. Or mid-course corrections, rather. Alright. Now we focus view on Duna. Let's add a maneuver node here. Okay. I'm gonna move this to the side actually. Yeah, the settings I need to do it in the settings. Settings, I think it was UI, navigable position. Okay, we can continue. So the maneuver was here. I think we scale. Okay. We need to adjust the normal parameter a little bit, I think. Yes. Again, this is good enough. We can correct our course once we will enter the Duna's sphere of influence, like right about here. After that we can just adjust and achieve the trajectory that we want to achieve. So that's all good. So let's have a little cinematic of our probe departing. Man, I haven't played in a while, I'm forgetting my shortcuts. Honestly, I'll just return to Space Center. And then we're gonna switch to our delivery rocket, which is still in orbit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna return that rocket to Kerbal. I have equipped it with flight stabilizers and parachutes so that it can land on Kerbal unharmed. I'm not gonna be aiming for a landing per se, but I will be more than happy with a splashdown. The main goal will be to land in the proximity of the Kerbal Space Center. So I'm gonna place a maneuver node somewhere here. And I need it to drop just enough into the atmosphere. Let's put the focus on Kerbal. Let me deactivate. I can't tag these. Okay. That's alright. think that is a bit too early. Hmm. Let's reverse ourselves. Okay. The air breakers are functional. Like this. Let me switch our camera. Okay. We are ready for re-entry. I'm gonna turn off the SAS for now. I'm gonna close this solar panel. So that the batteries are charged up and ready for the re-entry phase. Alright. Okay. The atmospheric flight begins. We are definitely overshooting the Kerbal Space Center, unfortunately, but still, we will be probably be landing somewhere in the ocean. I think I can close the panel right about now. I'm gonna allow them to contribute to the pitch and yaw corrections. So we are passing the Kerbal Space Center. It's right about there, where I'm pointing with the mouse. How do our thermals look like? Okay. We are slowly applying braking. The most important thing is this one here, the hottest part. The temperature must not exceed 2000 kelvins. Generally, when returning from a low Kerbal orbit, the engines can withstand the heating of re-entry. Okay, we're starting to shed off our speed. There's another landmass coming up, which I think shouldn't be an issue, but nevertheless. Okay, the engine is starting to heat up slowly, but we're still within the operational temperatures of it. We can ignore this. We are still within acceptable limits. Washed. I see. You're giving me the same treatment I'm giving you when you're playing Valhalla. Fair enough, fair enough. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a nice day here. We're kinda low on electric charge, which is not great. I'm gonna risk it and turn off my stabilization system. Okay, we are slowing down now. We are slowing down. Alright. We are in the safety now. W game washed player. Yeah, I see you. I see what you're doing. Okay, the parachutes should be deploying any moment now. Okay. Parachutes are deployed. Whew. That was closer than I would like it to be, and I'm not gonna lie. And there we go. We have splashed down the rocket. We're gonna recover the vessel, and we are gonna switch back to our actual mission. Which is this right here. Washed OGT. Yeah, I guess I am somewhat washed at the game nowadays. I haven't played it in quite a while. Slowly relearning my ropes. We can move ahead to our node. Goodbye, Kerbal. Okay. We have now reached. We still have connectivity to Kerbal. Always great. We have some time until our maneuver node, but we might as well just switch right now and do our adjustments. Doing a very small burn. Okay, that's good enough. We're gonna create another maneuver node here, where we're going to put it in a circular orbit around Kerbal, around Duna, I mean, like that. There. And now we can time warp to this. The signal strength is good. It will just take us a bit of time to time warp to Duna. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions about the game or about life in general, feel free to ask. I will be more than happy to respond. Should be entering the Duna sphere of influence right about now. Orbital. There it is. There is Duna. I'm gonna do my connection burn now. Nice. Now we are gonna circularize at Duna. Turn sideways for the maximum solar panel coverage. Direct sunlight. There it is. Now we're gonna make a burn to circularize at Duna. 25 seconds burn time, so T minus 12, 13 seconds should be good enough to start our burn. Let me skip ahead a little bit. Now, if you're wondering why the engines make no sound, it's because of this bug in KSP where when you switch vessels, some of the sounds get lost sometimes. I'm not sure whether this bug has been fixed or not, or whether there are fixes that can be done to it, but alas, we have to make do with what we have. Speaking of, good enough. Okay, I'm gonna save Duna transfer stage at Duna orbit. Okay, so now what I want to do is to put those relays into synchronous orbits so that I have a complete coverage of the planet. There was a tool for that somewhere on the internet. I don't remember exactly where it was. I need to find it real quick. Give me a second. There, I think I found it. Yes, we need to put the probes into resonant orbits so that we have complete coverage of the planet, which is why I have brought 3 probes specifically. Because if we put 2 probes, for example one here and one here, they will be on the complete opposite sides of each other, and therefore they will not be able to reach each other and interconnect with each other, which is why at least 3 probes are needed so that you could put them in a triangle, so to speak, like one here, and one here. There's this website where you can calculate the orbits necessary. I have, let's put so all right. So the calculator tells me that from this altitude I need to make, so we are at, I mean, first of all I will make an adjustment to orbit so that it is as circular as it can be. I need these two. I'm gonna do a small radial burn. There. Let's time skip to there. Although I think we will not be able to reach. Yeah. So there's the issue, because the planet blocks the line of sight to Kerbal. We're instead gonna place the maneuver node on the sunny side. I want to place... Come on, game. Please cooperate with me. Ah, right. Let's just skip ahead until we have connection again. Okay, we have connection. Let's put this to 0 first. There. Now it should work. I'm gonna make this orbit as circular as possible. I'm gonna put the thrust limiter to 5%. I'm gonna orient the craft. So okay, our orbit is pretty much as circular as it can be. Now we're gonna put the numbers into the resonance calculator. All right. We're gonna put it tuner transfer pre-deployment of probes. Yes. Now we are gonna detach our probes one by one. I guess this one can go first. I think we have a little problem here. I forgot to put decouplers on those two sides. which means that those two probes are hard mounted to the rocket and cannot be detached. Which is, I dare say, not ideal. But I think I can make a workaround. Yes, I can make a workaround. I'm gonna detach this. And now we are gonna make a maneuver node. That is as big as it can be. Like maybe somewhere around here, so it doesn't reach the moon Ike and get its orbit interrupted. And then we're gonna make another burn there to make the orbit bigger, and then I'm gonna make admittedly a very costly but necessary normal burn in order to turn the orbit around and make it more like vertical, so to speak, around the poles. And with that, I think we should have enough coverage of Dunham, even with two probes. Didn't know Sir OJ possessed a deep knowledge about astrophysics and aeronautics. Well, not necessarily astrophysics and aeronautics, but more about the engineering as a whole in general, I would say. I've read a lot of stuff, and I learned a lot of stuff while playing Kerbal Space Program. It is a very educational game, I gotta say. Like, you put in all those things that you read about space engineering into actual practice within the game. Even if some of the things in the game are simplified compared to reality, and there are more things simplified than you might initially think actually, but still, it's a nice playground. I'm gonna activate the engine. I'm gonna time warp. So I remembered that this probe core doesn't have a reaction wheel inside it, which is why I can't turn it around without firing up the engines. Like, if you compare it to a Duna relay, this probe core, it does have a reaction wheel within it, which means that I can reorient it into any direction I like without firing up the engines. I can't do it with the smaller ones. So I'll just need to correct the course with the engines, so to speak. Speaking of, I will be firing up at T-minus 23 seconds. Starting right now. Wait a minute. I'm pretty sure the Ant engine had a gimbal in it. Doesn't it? I thought the Ant engine had a gimbal in it. Well, I guess it doesn't. We're gonna have to find some another way. They said games can teach you squad, and here we are. Well, it heavily depends on the game, I would say. There are definitely some games where you just playing for the fun of it and there's nothing really gained from it. But games like these, they can definitely teach you enough. Will we be pointing? Will we be pointing in the right direction? No, we're not. So I guess we're stuck in this orbit then. Um, okay, this will send us in an outward trajectory. This one will send us on a bigger orbit, theoretically, but I'm not entirely comfortable with it because it will intersect the Ike's orbit. I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now. And declare this mission a partial success. I'm pretty sure the ant engine had gimbal in it. I'm genuinely surprised that it doesn't have gimbal in it. Let me check it for a bit, one moment. I mean, yeah, whatever. Engines. So this has gimbal. Turns out it doesn't actually have gimbal. Silly me, I suppose. So basically I now have a probe that cannot be controlled. Can only fire in one direction. Yeah. I've cocked up big time. I can say that for sure. At least we have some relay probes at Duna. That's nice, I guess. No, don't. I'm gonna save it. Duna relays delivered. Partial success. Like that. I think this is enough Kerbal space program for today. We have done loads, achieved loads. And besides that, it has been my first stream from my PC. And as far as I can tell, it has gone pretty well. Which means maybe in the future more PC streams will come. In the next KSP stream, I will be actually sending Kerbals this time, and hopefully there won't be as many mishaps as I have had with this mission. Besides, I haven't played KSP in a while, so I've been slow. Like all the memories are coming back to me now. Was nice, man. Thanks for the stream. Anytime, man. Anytime. Drop the like, drop the subscribe button, so you don't miss the next stream. Can we do some combo in this game? There is tech in this game, but it's not the tech that you might think it is. The tech in this game has more to do about the exploitation of the game mechanics. I have dabbled in it quite a lot myself, and I have built many spacecraft and aircraft that have utilized those exploits and used them in many missions. So there is tech, but it's not the one that you might think about. The real technology, yeah, exactly. The real, actual tech. But yeah, this has been a nice short stream. I want to thank everyone for stopping by, everyone for joining. Drop the likes, drop the subscribes. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.